Hey, everybody. We are live right now at the Paste Studio in New York with Anthony Costa. Anthony, thanks for coming back, man. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, too. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. Not to be confused with the inimitable Anthony D'Amato.
Anthony D'Amato, no, we are different people. He's from Jersey. I'm from New York.
Bullshit. He played last night as well, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming here after show day. You were at Rockwood Stage 2 last night, which from all accounts was an outstanding show.
It was so great. We're celebrating the 15th anniversary of Ken Rockwood and all things Rockwood. So, yeah, it was a blast.
That's right. Yeah, it's been a monster lineup this whole month.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you were a part of it and glad that you're making this part of your day today, man. This is exactly how I want my Tuesday morning to unfold. Congratulations upcoming to you because Feet on the Dashboard comes out on March 27th on Anti-Fragile.
Yes.
We're about to hear 3 songs from that, and we're going to hear an unreleased one as well. What's happening first?
We're going to play the title track from the record called Feet on the Dashboard. Awesome.
As much money the movies say we should. You don't have to like my father. I don't like my father. But still we love each other. We get along fine. Well, I met you in the fall, and the month it took to get you didn't bother me at all. Every time I walk on down the street, they look a little different. The people I meet, every girl looks like she makes this sound. Woo! Let's go downtown, I'm sure they're very nice, I don't wanna know. But I'll take you anywhere you wanna go, even if that's just back to sleep. You should know I'm in this deep. High lines and bright waves, dark bars and late nights. I think about leaving New York all the time. But I think I'll take you with me when I leave this city. The skyline, it looks so pretty tonight. Speaking of light, we broke up one July. It was the loneliest fireworks display of my life. And every time I walk on down the street, they look a little different. The people I meet, every girl looks like she makes this sound. Woo! Let's go downtown, I'm sure they're very nice, I don't wanna know. I'll take you anywhere you wanna go, even if that's just back to sleep. You should know I'm in this deep. takes a little magic, oh, to you believe in magic? The radio plays. Every time I drive down the lost highway, I know it won't always be that way. You'll be on the passenger side playing DJ. Feet on the dashboard, I will try not to laugh. I'll try not to cry when I wonder, oh God, how is she still mine? And even as you slowly drift to sleep, I'll keep my foot on the gas. I'm in this deep, gonna make this last. I'm in this. Every time I walk on down the street, they look a little different. The people I meet, every girl looks like she makes this sound. It's like go downtown, I'm sure they're very nice. I don't wanna know where to take you, anywhere you wanna go. Even if that's just back to sleep, baby, you should know I'm in this deep. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice. Dude, that sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
We've got a geeky gear question from the internet, and we encourage all of the geeky gear questions that the internet has to offer. So thank you, Ed Scobie of the internet. Anyone know what the neck pickup on his telly is?
Well, this Telecaster is kind of special. It was built by a guy named Russ Paul. He's an incredible pedal steel player and guitar player in Nashville. He's been around for about 30-something years. Plays a lot with Dan Auerbach and does a lot of records with T-Bone Burnett. He's just like one of the guys down there. But he also puts together guitars. And actually, the neck pickup is a Strat pickup because he said the weakest part of any telly tends to be its neck pickup, and his favorite part of a Strat is the neck pickup. So he builds his own pickups. So this is a Russ Paul Strat pickup in the neck.
Outstanding, dude. Great question. Great answer to that question. I'm glad
we're
that
getting
we
the
asked.
gear questions going right away, which I'm totally cool with. I wasn't a NAMM though. So.
Is that the main the main instrument we hear on the record?
It's not. Actually, on the record, I played exclusively Collings guitars, which is typically what I play. They're made in Austin, Texas. And I just, had a quick trip up to the city here and just grab, sometimes you just grab a Telecaster. But typically I only play Collings guitars. So the record features, I think I counted for them because they're all friends of mine, about 9 different Collings guitars. So typically Collings, but here we are. Yeah.
And can people expect from Feet on the Dashboard, is the instrumentation that you guys are playing here today very similar or the same to what people hear on the record, or is there more layered production elements, or is it the trio?
It's built on the premise of the trio. So the producer, Kenneth Pattengill, and I Kenneth plays in a band called the Milk Carton Kids. That's my other name drop of the day. And Kenneth he had seen me play live solo and seen me play live with a band, and we wanted to focus the sound of the record around sort of the trio sound I've been building since I lived in New York and then through Austin and now in Nashville. And but we ended up adding last minute. There's this incredible keyboard player named John Lloyd. Kenneth likes to throw people into the studio pretty last minute. He didn't show the band any of the songs ahead of time. The drummer on the record, Dominic Billett, we lucked out because he had played about half of the tunes with me live before, at least. But Kenneth he threw in this incredible keys player named John Lloyd, used to play in a band called Cordovas. So the record is basically built around the trio plus a Hammond organ. That's the bulk of the sound. It was all captured pretty live. We had my friend Ruth Moody come and sing on some tracks and stuff. But yeah, for the most part, it's based around the sound of the trio.
Sweet. Well, we will excitedly look forward to release date. It's coming out March 27th on Anti-Fragile. Thanks for sharing some of the music from it with us today.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so we're going to hear 2 more from Feet on the Dashboard, and we're going to hear an unreleased one as well. What's coming up next?
This is a song, it's the first single we put out. It's called Sooner Than Later.
There's a time when I need to know was buried is alive. Let's do it all night. You say you won't forget me, but I think you just. I know it's gonna hurt me. I can see it from so far away. I know it's gonna hurt me. Sooner than later. I know it's gonna hurt me. I can see it in your eyes. I know it's gonna hurt me. Sooner than later, someday. Sooner than later, someday. Sooner than later, someday. Thank you. We did it.
Nice. Yeah, you did. So you mentioned some of the cities you've lived in recently, most recently Nashville, but
Yeah.
New York, Austin, Nashville currently. Can you sort of trace the reasons why, not the reasons why, but the ways in which the distinct vibes of those places have influenced the sound of each of the projects as you've gone up until Nashville now?
Well, you see, I was born in the Bronx in 1991. And did I ever tell you about the first time I ever tried skateboarding? It was the first and only time. And it actually
1991?
influenced a lot of the music. No, I'll never skateboard again. My mom got me a really lame board. I mean, very privileged that my mom bought me a skateboard, but she went to Toys R Us to buy it.
Plastic trucks.
It was mostly plastic and particle board and had a cartoon of a tiger on it with sparkles, which now would have been super hip, but we weren't here yet,
Before its time.
Yeah, man. I mean, so I grew up in the Hudson Valley of New York, and I grew up playing folk music. I grew up, for some reason, when I was about 13, I picked up, a harmonica and acoustic guitar and started going to, church coffee house venues and, open mics and dipping into the city and, mostly playing Bob Dylan and Neil Young songs, and then eventually starting to write my own and doing these, super long coffee house shows where I'd play for, 3 hours and not take a break and bring my own, PV PA for the gear people, PV name on it, back it up all the way. I would bring my own PA and have a binder full of song lyrics, and I learned a lot about song craft through, I was hanging out with people 2 or 3 times my age who were writing songs, and I started to travel for festivals, and I got to play this festival called the Kerrville Folk Festival, which is down in the Hill Country in Texas, about a little under 2 hours outside of Austin, closer to San Antonio-ish, about the same distance. But and I got to do this weird contest thing down there. It's a beautiful thing. It's just music as a competition is strange. But I was 16 years old and I won this contest there, songwriting contest, and I just met all these incredible songwriters through that and started to fall in love with Texas and specifically Austin, which is sort of its own thing. Hello? And so
You can take it if you need.
I started to, excuse me, I've just got to do this. It's my chiropractor. So I started playing, I started wanting to travel down to Austin so bad. But first I had to do the New York thing. I've been playing here for so long and, playing the Living Room, RIP, and Rockwood Music Hall and a lot of places like that. But the instant I graduated from school, I was just itching to get to Austin. I had so many friends there and so many of my favorite songwriters and musicians there, and such a beautiful community, a really supportive scene there. So when I lived in Austin, I was mostly playing guitar with other people for a living and working part-time at a guitar shop. So I would, and play my local gigs. So for about 3 years, my own music didn't leave Austin much. It's kind of tougher to tour out of, especially with a band. You got to get in the van and drive 14 hours to leave Texas. But, I was making records this entire time and made this record in Austin that I'm really proud of with some of the best musicians I have there. But really, Nashville was just calling for so long. And I had so many people who were yelling at me practically to you have to check this place out. You have to go to Nashville. You'd be perfect for it. You'd love it. And, I'm trying to cover all the hipster music cities that I can. But I got there, and I have now about 3 years in or something like that, I have sort of found my people, and, I have a band down there. And making this record was huge. Working with Kenneth to kind of establish or reestablish my identity as a songwriter. Because really, I'd been a side person for many years now. I kind of accidentally fell into that, which was beautiful. I got to play with Aoife Donovan and Sarah DeRose and Yola and Molly Tuttle and Joy Williams from the Civil Wars. I've played with almost every incredible female singer-songwriter on the planet, at least in the Americana world, and it was so rad. But I've been wanting to get back to this for a long time. So the sound of the record was sort of I feel like it's very focused, the identity of the record, which is what Kenneth and I were kind of shooting for. Capture the sort of live trio energy, but also just focus on the best songs that I had. And so I hope that that's what people get from it.
Nice. Well, dude, I'm enjoying it very much. Do you feel like Portland, Asheville, or Detroit is next for you?
Well, I tried to do Portland once when I had some time off of the road. I was dating a girl there who's in tech. It was a Tinder relationship, and it did not last. I drove out there once with not everything that I own, but like my CRV and like 2 guitars and a giant suitcase. And I was supposed to stay a month, and I left after 3 weeks, and that ended. So Asheville's beautiful, though. I'll be there. I'm doing this whole West Coast tour this spring, so I'll be out in that sort of Ashland. Asheville, you said, for North Carolina. That's different. I love Asheville. I mean, there's always Los Angeles.
Shakespeare Fest there in Asheville.
Yeah, okay.
Lind.
Well, I do have a musical theater background, not so much dramatic. I could
send
go to LA. I talked to my friend Mason Stoops about LA, and he's an incredible guitar player. The gear people will know who he is. And he said, so when are you moving to LA? And I said, because I'm thinking there's a lot of patchy bearded kind of like guitar guys there with glasses. It's like I'm friends with all of them. And I was like, I don't know, man. I feel like y'all don't really need me here, And he goes, oh, we don't need you, but we want you.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
It was very sweet. But I don't know. I'm good for Nashville for now. I miss it here a lot.
Map in the other room. We can map it all out as soon as we wrap here.
Plan it.
And there's a lot more. We're only at halftime right now. There's
great.
2 more songs. Are you doing another one from Feet on the Dashboard next?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the song that's our next single. It's coming out on the 21st, and it's a song I wrote with. The song had like 3 different iterations, but I wrote it mostly with Kenneth, and it's a song called "Runaway," and it's if I were alive early enough to have a song in like a kind of like Breakfast Club, like the '80s Molly Ringwald kind of movie. This is as close as I could ever get. I'm too late, like most things. Like I should have been a boy band is my other theory, but I don't know. Here I am in 2020 doing it. So this is a song called "Runaway." I'm gonna have a sip of tea. One thorn of experience is worth a whole wilderness of warning.
Dude, I did not know that was a iced tea. I thought it was just lemon tea. I had no idea there were words of wisdom on it as well.
See if this is better. One thorn of experience is worth a whole wilderness of wandering. Warning. I would say wandering is good too. Anyway, that was James Russell Lowell, who apparently made this tea.
Never knew August could be cold. I never knew cold like this before. I never before believed my eyes, the lies on the faces I see every day. The love that I'm chasing, running away. But I won't go, baby, if you don't go. I won't go, baby, if you don't go. Run away, I refuse to run. I'm gonna stay. My heart is torn upon my sleeve. You pull the thread each time you leave. I'd give anything for you to see the stars up above you, yeah, the shine in your eyes. You go through the motions, you cold. I never knew cold like this before. Runaway, I'll never be a runaway. Runaway, I refuse to run away. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay.
Thanks. That was
Yeah.
the jazz version of that song.
That sounded great, man. I
don't
like
really
that
do
version.
jazz, but-
How'd you like it?
I had fun.
Good, me too.
Yeah, I like that song. It's so sweet, but I had to mess with it a little bit. But I love that song. Look out for that single, February 21st, with Ruth Moody singing on it. But Jay Foote doing a pretty fantastic Ruth
Jay
Moody
Foote.
impression, if I do say so myself.
And on the drums,
On the drums, that's Jason Berger,
Jason Berger.
pride of the Bay Area. Aren't you from the Bay Area? I'm going to admit, I don't know about California.
I'm from San Francisco.
I don't get it. That I know. I know where that is. He's from Orange County. The pride of Orange County. That show, The OC, was actually mostly based on his life.
Well, you guys sound great together. Thanks again for bringing this music here today. And there are many opportunities to see you guys live and in person. As much as I love these live streams, which takes up the entirety of my professional life, we do these all the time and I love them, but there's still no excuse to not get, you have to get out of your house and you have to go see live music in the real world. And there are many opportunities for that to happen. All the dates are up at anthonydacosta.com. Rockwood was last night. You're not headed one clear direction. You're kind of everywhere across the United States. You're Tennessee, Southwest states, West Coast. And then the whole thing wraps, this leg anyway, wraps May 30th at Dark Matter in Nashville.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of people tuned in, man. Fayetteville, Arkansas is here. We've got Madison, Tennessee, not Wisconsin. Toronto is here. So there are many people very happy with what you're doing right now. And dude, and dates with Katie Pruitt. She's going to be here next week.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Katie Pruitt is one of my new favorite friends. We just met kind of in Nashville just around New Year's. But yeah, I'm going to be opening for her sold out album release in Nashville on February 21st.
Cool.
You need to check her out. Tune in for that.
If quick turnaround. She's here on the 20th, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I should just stay. Yeah, we've been writing some songs together too, which is exciting.
Nice, good. And Dylan LeBlanc as well. There are a lot of dates with Dylan. We love him here. And dates with Steve Poltz as well.
Oh yeah. Steve, actually, this is a good transition because our last song is going to be one I wrote with Steve. Yeah, thank you.
Nailed it.
It's like we planned this. Should we do our last song?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for having us. This has been really fun for me. I've always wanted to do one of these. And one more internet round of applause for Jay and Jason for being who they are. Yeah, I've been writing some new songs. I just wanted to play this one I just wrote with Steve. He calls it Stardust and Satellites. I call it Moving Parts because I'm way more basic than he is.
Where's the heat when you need it? It's colder than it should be. I removed the AC from our window. I wanna sweat you out of me. I was floating down my own path, a drunken butterfly. Just put me back in my cocoon, where I can sleep it off tonight. Why not? It's what I thought. I could always move again. Stardust and satellites, and we're all made of moving parts and broken hearts, and we're all just floating. Where's a friend when you need one? I'm older than I should be. Well, maybe I should have stayed in Texas. You know, it's pretty much its own country. I was floating down my own path, a ragged rack on tour. Just put me back in my old cell, where I know I'll get the cure. Why not? It's what I thought. I could always move again. Stardust and satellites, and we're all made of moving parts and broken hearts, and we're all just floating. Take a page from a new book, a shot of something pure. Take a picture of a memory. Chances are it's blurred. Thank you. Thank you, Paste.
All right.
Thank you, Internet.
Thanks again
Appreciate
for doing this. Travel safely between all the dates. Again, if you're just joining us, they are obviously on your website, anthonydacosta.com. There's a lot of dates all the way through the end of May. And do you feel like... Dom and Jerry are here. Dom Billett and Jerry Bernhardt are here right now. So Bob, they said it sounds outstanding.
Bob's
Anthony
your uncle, guys.
Sounds outstanding.
Sounds like a Jerry problem.
Do you want to take one more geeky question, or do you have stuff to do?
I'll do anything.
Todd Lamondi of the Internet wants to know what's on the pedal board. Do you feel like divulging that information, or do you want to remain mysterious?
No, this is great. So yeah, let's just really get into this. I feel like a lounge singer, but for gear, which is not as important. So we got down here, we've got the chain really starts at my tuner. I try to get as close of a guitar straight into the amp, guitar cable amp as I can, but when I can't, the
there's a tuner, and then I use the Sonic Research tuner, the tiny one, and then I've got a red snapper by Menatone, a mini one. This is my travel board. And so the red snapper is kind of fun. It's like a medium gain overdrive. Currently, I'm using a King of Tone by Analog Man. It's really best when you already like your amp, like these incredible Supro amps that we have. And I've got a Tonal Recall by Chase Bliss Audio. Chase Bliss is probably my favorite pedal company. That's the best delay pedal I've ever had. I've also got his Mood pedal, which is making weird sounds. It's like 4 different shades of pink, and it's beautiful. And so I use that for a lot of reverse and pitched up kind of sounds. And then I have a tried and true Strymon Flint for reverb and tremolo. I can't get away from them. I know everybody has them, and there's a reason for it because they're so helpful. But I've also got my secret thing. This is a secret to my sound. It's a hand-wired overdrive by this guy Bjorn over in Europe called the Honeybee, BJFE. But again, let me tell you, it's all about the songs, and it's all in your hands. Tone is in your hands. It's nowhere else. And for me, if I could just be playing on the porch with my banjo, that would be best. But sometimes you got to come and do a Paste session and make some sounds. So we're here.
Outstanding. Well, dude, come back anytime. Visit us whenever it makes sense for you. Travel safe, and best of luck on Feet on the Dashboard. It's out March 27th on Anti-Fragile. So thank you for sharing the music with us today, man.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.